AFTV, Mo, good to see you again, mate. I saw you smooching up in the boxes today, you know what I mean? But
wait a second, where were you then if you saw me there?
No, but I was there on a different.
You're stuttering now. Like,
I was there. I was there on a different mission, but
of course,
but it was a great game, wasn't it?
I wish, man. It was a great game. It was. I mean, look, it wasn't a kind of a perfect performance, right? But it was a great game. It's a game that any neutral will want to watch. But for me today, it was all about timing of goals. That's what really, really made the difference. You know, 40 seconds in or whatever it was, we go and concede, and we're thinking, oh, massive nightmare. And what worries me then is if we go too long without equalising, then the jitters start coming in. But thankfully, we equalised in the first half. And then when they took the lead, and then it was all about those timings of goals where they scored. I don't know how they got 5 minutes of injury time in the first half. If someone had said to me, you know, obviously
Kolasinac
went down, yeah. But if someone had said to me, "What do you think the injury time will be?" I would have said, like, yeah, probably about 3 minutes. Like I would have guessed about. I don't know how they got to 5. If it was 4 because they're given a bit of time for 3 goal celebrations or something, fair enough. But I can't think of another stoppage other than the Kolasinac injury. So 5 minutes, I just didn't get. But then that's no excuse in the fact that we can't defend a corner. You know, yeah, fine, might be confused about it, but we still need to defend the corner. And I've seen Arsenal do this before this season as well, where we're defending a corner, but on the edge of our box, there's on this occasion, there were 3 Everton players, one in the middle, one on the left, one on the right. And I was looking at that thinking someone needs to go and do a zonal job. For me, my preference is in the actual box, you go man to man, you take responsibility. But on the edge of the box, you do the zonal job. Because all you need to do is put them off, make them take a touch and turn back rather than being able to go straight. Because anytime you clear it from a corner, or not any time, but vast majority of the time, you're only going to half clear it. It's not going to the halfway line, it's going to the edge.
Everton are a very dangerous team from corners. I mean, if
and that's why we need
the game against Watford the other day, they did the same thing. They got 2 from corners to bring them back from a 2-0 deficit.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why we needed to be on our game at corners, and that's why I was looking at our setup, and when I saw 3 of them on the edge of the box, I was thinking, what are we doing? Sure enough, I went to, I can't even remember who, but it was one of the 3 players on the edge of the box, completely unmarked. He puts it back in, Luis misses a header, and they go and get that 49th minute goal over it, whatever it was. And I still feel like there's just basic changes Arsenal need to make in terms of how we need to set ourselves up. But, you know, ultimately, they score 49th minute goal and we go and score a 46th minute goal, and luckily we're 3-2 up again. It doesn't make any sense, but you know what I'm saying. And again, it's just that timing of goals. That second half could have gone either way, really, when you look at it in isolation, and we were the one that made the difference. And it's that man again, Aubameyang. You know, the guy is an assassin. And what makes me laugh is that over the kind of like last 12 months, people have spoken about, they've kind of entertained the concept of him leaving.
Cashing in. Yeah. Cash in.
Why?
But if you cash in, what? If you cash in on him, what are you going to buy?
What guarantees?
That's what I don't understand.
What guarantees do you have? Right.
What? You know it is, right? It's just Jordan over there. Reading about.
Who's slated Aubameyang?
He hasn't slated Aubameyang.
No, he has. He messages me when Aubameyang has a duck.
Jordan, let me get Jordan in here with this. Come in here, Jordan. Come in here, Jordan. Right? Because we have had this debate quite a lot of times about Aubameyang, and you've said cash in.
My point being that if we sign him, give him a contract, he's going to want a 2-year minimum contract on 350, 400 grand a week. Do you want a 35-year-old guy on 400 grand a week?
He's 30 now, isn't he? He's 30 now.
He want a long-term contract. It's his last big one.
No, but let's rephrase the question. It's not about if it's a 35-year-old guy, because look at what Cristiano Ronaldo's doing at that age. I know he's a freak, but Aubameyang's record he's a freak as well. You look at the first 100 games for Arsenal of Arsenal strikers in history. He's a freak in our context. So from my point of view, I don't care if he's a 35-year-old player or a 30-year-old player. I'm talking about, yes, I want a 25-goal-a-season player on that sort of money.
There's a lot of players that are banging it in. Vardy's 30. He's old. He's 32. Aguero.
I've not texted you for a while, so I've changed my mind a little bit on Aubameyang, granted. But he's banging the goals in a little bit. He's banging the goals in, doing the thing. If he wants to stay, I would sign him up now. I would, because as you've made the point, it's very hard to find certified gunmen in Europe, and we've got one now. So if he wants 350, 400 grand a week,
he's earning it.
He's earning it, to be fair. And he's a captain now, so I've changed my mind. All right?
Cool.
All right?
So wait. So we were right. You were wrong. No, fair play to Jordan though for kind of saying.
That's the first time I've ever him.
No, credit to him.
But 4th place, any possibility?
As I said, I'm not looking at the league table. I don't think we need to come here
Fifth.
and... No, I'm not looking at the table. I'm not loading the team up with pressure in terms of saying, oh, we can do this and we can do that. It's still very early days for Arteta. When he first came in, performances went up, results didn't follow. And now the results are following as well. So let's just see this team make that a bit more consistent. Because today we look jittery, right? It could have easily ended up 3-3 if it wasn't for a fantastic Leno save at the end, which, you know, he won't get nowhere near enough credit for. I don't feel like he ever does. People focus on his mistakes, but they don't focus on the ridiculous saves he pulls out. For me, let's just go and try and win the Europa League and the FA Cup. I want silverware this year. If anything happens in the league after going through 3 managers and stuff, that's a bonus. But let's just go, and Arteta needs to try and get a trophy. But one thing we have to say today is Bukayo Saka. That guy, there's nothing he can't do. He could knock out Tyson Fury, honestly. Saka is just, he's another level. He's a kid playing in not in his position, and the performances that he's putting in week out now, the assists that he's getting in week out, these are world-class moments of wing-back play. They really are world-class moments. That cross today, unquestionably world-class. He's literally, he's 30 yards away from Nketiah, but he's almost dragged him physically and put him in the right spot to score. That's how inviting that cross was. That's how perfect that cross was. You're left with no option but to go and attack it, and it is, that corridor of uncertainty. He did it midweek, in the Europa League, and he's dragging his strikers into these positions saying, go and get me that assist. He's absolutely brilliant, and he needs to sign. He just simply needs to sign. I don't care if he plays for Nigeria or England, I don't give a crap. I want you to play for Arsenal. That's who I want you to sign for. So Saka, well done, and Tyson Fury, congratulations.